the structure of K-12 8 to 3, because the evolution and the emergence of the learning environment that happens from these kids is something that isn't able to be generated within a structured environment.
Why not?
Why not? Creativity, I think, really needs to have an open space. It needs to evolve as things happen in the environment. K through 12 education typically says, I need to cover this, and you know this because you're a teacher, I need to cover this by this day, by this hour, by this month, and the standardized tests are dictating what we're learning. And in my experience, teaching in ways that are culturally resonant or culturally responsive don't really fit within that structure. So they don't necessarily allow for this kind of emergent idea and allow for students to have a voice to drive their own learning.
Okay, so a note for the future, blow up K-12 and bring in more, or at least supplement it with a lot more responsive educational programs. Right over here, yes?
In the videos, it seemed like a lot of people they interviewed were pretty much agreeing with their thesis or whatever you want to call it, like alcoholism is bad.
Yeah.
I mean, did they encounter people that didn't agree with them? Because it seemed like from the beginning to the end, it's kind of like they had an idea and they almost went out and found people that agreed with that idea. But were there moments where they found people who were like, no, alcohol is good. We like to party. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm just curious.
That's so interesting because it's interesting. So I'm an ethnographic researcher. So ethnographic researchers aren't supposed to go in with an idea, find it, and prove it, right? So, but I think most of the science that we learn and most of the research processes that we learn is to have a hypothesis, have an idea of what the answer is, and go ahead out and prove it. And so I see this pattern in education here, especially in urban environments, and I see that pattern in education in developing countries where education is very much similar. It's very regimented. We're on the first level of this, of even getting them to be able to have the confidence to go out and express themselves. So in this next level, I'm seeing the kids who have learned this process work with the kids that they're teaching and getting them to sort of branch out and move beyond that. And again, I would kind of emphasize and stress that these kids were really, really afraid to go out and interview people. So if you put a camera, I mean, we went out, Aaron and I went out, and we would go there week after week after week, and they would have this plan. I'll have these videos by the time we come and see you. And we would get there, and they wouldn't have the videos, and I would get frustrated, and I would say, why do you not have the videos? You said you were going to do this. You haven't done this. And so we're walking towards the community, and all of a sudden, they're coming back with this. They're like hiding, and Aaron's back with them, and they said, oh, this really isn't our community. We're kind of afraid to talk to people. And so I realized that it wasn't, my perception of them not doing what they were supposed to do was not really about them not having a responsibility. It was about them having fears to go to talk to people. And so when we went up into the communities and we would stop and ask people, can we ask you questions? This is the project that we're doing. Can we do this? Some would say, I don't want to be on camera. And so just moving that comfort level to be able to ask people questions is hard enough, and then moving it to asking people questions who don't have the same perspective as you is even harder. But I completely agree with you that that's where I want to push them, is this process is for them to understand that their ideas have to be shaken a little bit by talking to other people in their community. So Carlos is an example. Carlos, I had endless conversations with him. He had an idea of what success was, and it's a very westernized idea of success. Pull up your bootstraps, work hard, and you will succeed. And I said, go out in your community and really find out what your people think success is. I really want you to push on this idea, because he was so smart and he has so many ideas, but they have a hard time letting go of what they believe in. And so there's two issues. There's the issues of being afraid to talk to people, and there's the issues of letting go of your really strong foundational beliefs.
Do you think also sometimes that you're kind of thinking, oh, the adults are going to go for this in a big way if I say that, you know, alcoholism is bad, let's just go do that. In a way that they're sort of like, you're sort of their audience in a way. The perception of you as sort of like the grown-up orthodoxy.
Yeah, so there's there's two things with that. I mean, and this brings me back to a story with Carlos as well, is I really wanted them to feel comfortable doing the videos in the ways that were meaningful for them. And he would use Spanish all the time. I said, why aren't you using Su Te Heal? And he said, because these videos are for you. And I said, no, these videos aren't for me. These videos are for you. And so use the language that you use and that's comfortable for you. And so, yeah, I think there is this perception that they're doing this for an outside audience and not for their own reflective and educational process. So that's part of it.
Right over here.
What's the process prior to beginning the filming process? Is there like a community building process, or like is it just technical training, or like what do you do prior to giving them the camera?
No, so I guess, I mean, there's two things that are going through my mind with your saying what's prior to giving them the camera. One of our operational principles is that we will partner with people who already have deep relationships with communities, because trust building is the most important thing. To be able to walk into a house and say, hey, I want to give a camera to your kid and have them tell stories. So it was really serendipitous and really lucky for me to find Maya Traditions, or them to find me, or us working together to do this, because that was already established. I have a belief about technology and youth that they don't need training to use it, that you need to give them something that they really are passionate about, and the technology knowledge comes in the process of doing the work. So in the beginning, we brought them in, showed them a few films, had discussions about different styles of movie shorts, gave them a camera and said, write a little story and go out and film something. So we didn't sit down with them and say, here's how you turn on a camera, here's a camera angle, here's a, so that first introduction was just here, play. And then we looked at them on a bigger video screen, and then they started to see, well, okay, I could maybe use this angle, or I could shake a little bit less, or, so that the learning comes in the process of the bigger picture. Because for me, although the digital skills are being taught and are being learned, the bigger picture really is about them being able to think more deeply and thinking about how to use these tools to creatively express themselves.
Right over here.
Yeah, is there an outlet for presenting this work to the communities, and what might that look like?
Our process for the kids is to have them create their videos and have them in a semi-finished form, and then they present them to their local communities. And we actually didn't even show the introduction video, so it kind of it describes this. So they go into their communities, they show the videos, we invite the people who are in the videos, we invite the whole neighborhood, we invite everyone. And it allows the kids to hear from the community what the community thinks is missing, or what what alternative perspectives aren't represented, or have a deeper conversation about issues. So we didn't show them one about weaving, but in the community of Cherry Hosh, they had this whole long conversation about losing the tradition of wearing the traditional dress or the traditional wapiles. With Carmen's film on nature, I didn't understand it because it was in Quiche, but there was this really in-depth conversation that went on about her video. And so then they listen to the community, and then they go back and they revise and they re-edit their videos before we show them to a larger community, which Aaron's organization is in Panajachel, Guatemala, and so we show it to a bigger audience there. So we go through an iterative process of them being able to create these.
So an initiative like this, I'm gonna guess, is funded by giant foundations. You've probably got the oil companies all over it, loving it, all this kind of stuff. So how does a thing like this keep going?
Like I said, I took a leave of absence from my university to start this. So I was finding my energy is coming from working with kids in the communities in Dorchester, Massachusetts, and the Dominican Republic. And I was finding that teaching in the university was a little stifling for me. I needed to get back out into the communities. Let me go try this. Just take a jump and a leap and see what happens. So I accidentally found myself in Guatemala, and I said, well, I need some money to buy cameras. And so I, with the help of my son, did a Kickstarter project. And we raised $7,000 for the Kickstarter, and in Guatemala, $7,000 goes a long way. So we are at the end of that Kickstarter funding that was awarded to us a little over a year ago, February in 2013. And so now we are in the next generation of trying to find sponsors, find supporters, find any funding streams that we can. I'm going to start writing grants, selling products that the moms of the kids make. I actually wanted to bring these because they were in the videos and I wanted you to see them.
Hey, that's bird's eye view. I recognize that.
This is the bird's eye view. So this is Gloria's painting. She's the one with 2 kids. She recently got remarried about a month ago, but her husband died a few years ago. And I was just really excited to be able to show you some of the things that come out of the moms of these kids. They've been with Maya Traditions since they were 2 or 3 years old, so it's a real tribute to the work that Maya Traditions does in creating revenue to put back into social what do you call them? Social endeavors that also are educational opportunities for youth who don't have them.
All right, so you can be engaged doing bad things, you can be engaged, you can be disengaged, or you can engage doing good things. This is a good thing that people here could even engage in if they wanted to, correct? And they can help out.
Absolutely true.
So we're going to be in the lobby, and we're going to be drinking things that sometimes might have alcohol in them, but don't judge. And you'll be around, and you guys will all be around, and you guys may have some more specific questions, or you may want to find out more about it. This is the person to talk to. Thank you all for coming out, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you learned a lot. I certainly did. Thank you, Donna.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Thank you again for hosting us.
So happy.
And I appreciate you coming out and seeing what we're doing.
Thanks, everybody.